from the thing though. Let me see.
I'm gonna stop it.
Nope. It says we have 2 views. Maybe it's from the
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
It's on?
No.
I have to stop it. Let me tell them. So we're trying to what's happening is that it's not coming on Jamie's feed. It's not on there either. Is it on Raise Your Voice? Yeah, there it is.
Okay. Hey, what's good, everybody?
What up, what up, what up?
It's your boy Jamie back with my beautiful lady Carlene. How's everybody doing out there?
Hi guys. Man, we were experiencing some technical difficulties. Not sure what's happening, but in the name of Jesus. Is that my phone? Yeah, that's my phone that's sitting there.
That is your phone.
But in the name of Jesus, we're just so glad to be so glad to be back and glad to have you guys back. Do you have the comments up? Because I can't see the comments.
Boom, there we go. All right, to the 18 people that are watching us right now, we appreciate you being here with us. And so we love it when you post your comments. We love it when you even just say what's up. And so this is your time. Just say, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Check in. Where are you checking in from? As you are on Facebook World and on YouTube. And so right now, we just want you to just put something in the comment box. Let us know how you feeling. How was your day? I don't know. Anything else? You wanna...
I just want to say that I'm going to struggle with these beads that are around my neck, or not beads, this necklace. It doesn't seem to be sitting right, but it is what it is. Hey, what up, John from Zambia? Okay,
Zambia.
John.
Hey, Zambia, what's going on? Hey, I just did a report on, Catway, Zambia, and the the pollution that's happening over there. So shout out to the folks out in Zambia as they getting things together. We love you. Ray Marshall, loving the black theme. Yeah, so Carlene's wearing a Raise Your Purpose t-shirt designed by me. This one says, "Stop e-waste dumping in Aglaboshi, Ghana," man. So if you don't know where your computers, your devices, where they go, basically they dump them in Ghana on this mountain, and it's a total biohazard to all the people that's living there. So when you throw away your phone or you don't recycle it, guess what? America and Europe, they're dumping them in Africa, particularly Ghana. So I just want to bring awareness to that. Yo, Theo from MD.
What up, Theo?
Arlene Stevenson, Ray Marshall watching us all the way from
Arlene.
England. Yo, let's get them the horns. Let's get them the horns. All right.
That's
So
what's up. We're so excited. As you know, we've been kind of doing this, marriage. We've been talking about mental health. We've been talking about parenting. We shared our story with you guys. We've also talked about the in sickness part of marriage. And we shared with you guys Jamie's recent diagnosis of MS, and how that looks, what that looks like. And, we're just hoping that this platform that we're using to kind of get the word out in terms of marriage, life, all of those things are not perfect. And whatever, Judy.
yeah, she liking the horns now.
I like the horns when it's used in the way that it's being used now, right? I didn't like the horns when he was trying to fill dead space. I didn't appreciate that, but yeah. So we just want to highlight being transparent and also being very real about marriage, and that things are not always as you plan. And so
my bad.
Don't try to
My bad.
listen to me. You guys will see this broadcast end so quickly if I were to reveal what's underneath this hat. So
I almost hit the flying saucer. Please.
My bad. I feel like I'm in church. The church hats.
Yeah, I would be mad if I'm the person behind you in church.
It's true. Can't see nothing behind me. Anything behind me. But anyway, so Today we have one of our favorite couples that is going to be joining us on this show. They are Candace and Marc Nicolo, the Nicolos. I know her as Candy, so I don't know if that's still appropriate to call her that. But they are. Her name is Candace. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody else, her name is Candace.
Say her name, right? So we're excited to bring them out. So we're gonna bring them out with the horns. Welcome everybody, Candace and Marc. There we go.
What up, guys?
We're gonna set the record straight. I tell everybody now. Her name is, ever since that ring went on her finger, her name is Candace.
Exactly.
That's what
Marc. Of Marc, if you watch what's that show? Handmaid's Tale. Of Marc. You can call her that.
I will call you Candace from now on. I'm never using Candy again. It has been retired. We're gonna hang up Candy in the rafters. No longer. If I hear somebody call you Candy, I'm raising up on them. All right?
Oh snap!
Oh yeah, that's horns. That's horns. Hold up, let's give them the horns. So guys, welcome to the show. We're so glad that you are here. Y'all mean a lot to us, and we really appreciate you guys being on here with us today.
Yes, so one of the first questions we want to ask you guys is, how did you guys meet? Tell us your story, your love story.
I slid into his DMs.
I didn't even have to say it. Jamie.
I'm proud.
She's,
I'm not ashamed.
Coming through.
So real quick before you start, Candace, Arlene Stevenson wants to know, what are you eating? What are you chomping on?
Oh,
what are you
very
eating?
good.
Yes. Oh, those are good.
Oh, we got the same chips. We had haystacks last night.
All right, I'll stop eating. It's rude. Let me stop eating.
Make sure you blur out the name unless they cut you a check, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's
right.
true.
Exactly.
Facts. Facts. Big facts.
So you slid into his DMs, and how long before he responded?
First of all, me and his sister were friends on Facebook, Alicia. And I was scrolling through, somebody you become friends, you start scrolling through the pictures, and then I was scrolling through her pictures and I saw this guy. I was like, yeah, he's kind of cute. So I started doing my research, clicking on pictures. So I kind of like saw that he played music. So I did the whole fake, hey, I want lessons.
Oh,
Yes. Oh,
wow.
Candy was the aggressor.
But anyway, so I slid into his DMs and he was kind of brush offish. Yeah. So I was like, well, screw you, like whatever, moving on.
I didn't have my radars on.
So I kind of just left it off. And then one day I was at my church, like my mom's church, Maranatha in Brooklyn, and we had like practice. And in comes this guy with the bass guitar, and I'm like, I nudged my friend who was next to me because we're in the choir, and I was like, that's the guy from Facebook.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think he even like remembered me because I felt like I shoot my shot and he kind of like, blocked it, shut it down.
the Mutombo wave.
You kind of get the feeling when somebody kind of like, oh, especially if a girl sends you DMs, especially married folks, if a girl sends DMs, you know what they want. So
exactly.
Yep.
So he kind of like played hard to get, whatever. But so eventually we went to this church thing and he came to play the bass guitar. So by then I already like put him out of my mind because he wasn't interested. Mm-hmm. So I was typical Candy, cracking jokes and being a fool. And I guess he probably like, oh, I caught his eye a little bit. So tell you.
Caught my good eye.
Yeah.
But from there, like, look for excuses to come by the church here and there to, promote this or inquire about that. And then, this is way back in the day, the BBM days. Like, you didn't ask for the number, you asked for the BBM pin. That's like, and, we did that. We got to talking, and talking turned into dating, and dating turned into, more and more dating, and then
here we are.
more dating, and then
then you realize you couldn't live without me.
So. Yeah.
Now, how long did you guys date before walking down the aisle?
Officially or unofficially?
So we have two different dates.
I don't know.
He was dating me part-time. It was kind of like part-time dating. So like in my head, we were together for like 10 years. In his head, it could have been 9.5. So I don't know. But so this was 2010.
We met 2010. We got engaged 2014.
And 2015 we got married.
Right.
Okay.
Nice, man. This is so crazy because I've known Candace. How long? We probably know you for over 20 years.
Yeah. 98, so it's like 20.
Yeah, she always talks about like the dunamis days, like you
Theo and Suzanne.
We're crusade, man. Those crazy days in Brooklyn, right? And then I've been knowing Marc since we were at AUC, Quan for Life. And it's just beautiful to see how, God just allowed your paths to cross. And we're here today, like 25 years later.
Yeah.
25 years and children later, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So we have two boys. I have two bonus children, with the Athalia is 18.
Wow.
Amir is 16, turning 17.
We should have stopped there and got a dog. So.
Yeah, we would have been straight in like a couple of years, but then, when she holds, when she holds you tight, she don't let you,
Mercy.
Hey, it's a blessing though. It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
So, you guys get married, all is well, correct? I mean, of course, I'm sure you go through the honeymoon stages, for the most part, things are going pretty well for you guys, right?
Yeah.
Now, can you share with us a little bit about maybe how long into your marriage did you receive your diagnosis?
2 years. 2 years to like, I felt honeymooning, as a matter of fact. So it was like October of 2017. We got married 2015 July. So by October of 2017, during the last pregnancy, that's when I found out that I had breast cancer. So it was like, wow. It was rough. Yeah, it was really tough.
Yeah, because 2 years, you guys are that's still honeymoon period, right?
Yeah.
You're still
new, still kind of learning each other.
Yeah.
In married, sense. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Can you walk us through that period of time? 2 years later, what happened?
Well, when I guess I'll just skip to the day when I found out the news. I'm not gonna go through all like when I felt this and felt that. I mean, initially I didn't feel any like lumps or anything in my breast. It was none of that. There was nothing there when I first felt like something was weird, but we kind of push it to like pregnancy. You know, when you're pregnant, your breast, all those different changes.
Mm-hmm.
They asked him like, hey, could you come feel my breast? And he was, like he's not gonna say no. So he was like, yes.
Of course.
So
I love doing those exams.
Okay. Pause. Did you either hear this dude? He's up here like he loves doing those exams.
Anytime you need. I be asking, do you want me to do an exam? Like I initiate.
So yeah, he felt it. I didn't tell him where I felt like something was there. So he felt it. So I was like, okay. So I told my GYN. Long story short, this was Thanksgiving. We had Thanksgiving, and the next day I was in the bathroom, and he was upstairs playing like games with the kids, and the GYN called, and she's black, and she's really really cool and down to earth, like the way we talk.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know each other. So when she called and I heard her voice on the phone, like, hi, Candace, is like, I knew right away. You can know when a doctor is calling to give you like bad news. And I was like, okay, so what is it? How bad is it? And she's like, you have triple negative breast cancer. It's very aggressive. And I was just quiet on that. I kind of laughed a little bit too, because I was like, almost like the shock of it. Like, what? And then she was like, where's Mark and where's the kids? I'm like, they're upstairs. She's like, do you need me to call somebody to tell? Because I really didn't know how I was. In that moment, when you find out, you don't think about, I don't know for Jamie, like, you don't think about yourself. You think about your family. That's where your mind goes. Like, oh my God, how am I going to tell Mark? How am I going to tell the kids? How are they going to respond? Like, I didn't even care, like, for me. So she called my father-in-law, and they came over, and it was just random Sunday. It was Friday. And Mark was even like, where's my parents here? Like, because I stayed in the bathroom until they came. So it took them like about 45 minutes to an hour to come. And I stayed in that bathroom for like an hour because I could not come out and like, because if I came out of the bathroom and came upstairs, they would have known that something was wrong. And I didn't have the guts to tell them like by myself. And I knew like, as much as I'm a strong person, I needed somebody else there to kind of like help bear the weight. So his parents came over, his mom came down. I told her first, and then she's like, okay, she's gonna call Mark. And then Mark came downstairs, and as soon as I told him, it just went like, it was tough. Like, he cried, the kids cried. It was a tough moment. I don't think it even like, it didn't even hit me yet. I don't think I even cried then. Mm-hmm. So that moment, I'll never forget it, and it's definitely life changing.
Yeah.
We were just looking through some pictures last night. Like, just you're scrolling through on on your iPhone, and they arrange all your pictures by like year and by month. So we kind of look at pictures of us before we knew of the diagnosis, and like looking at I don't want to say the innocence, but like it was like a version of us that like had no idea what we were going to be dealing with 2 days from the picture that we were looking at.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's so crazy, and I'm sure you guys can kind of identify with it on some level, but like the ignorance at least that I had, at least when it comes to cancer, like you hear breast cancer, and it's like, okay, is it this automatic death sentence? Okay, well, no, it's not necessarily. But then there's different types, and how the outlook and the prognosis of different types of breast cancer can kind of sway how you look at it and everything. It was just just even that aspect of it, like just trying to get a grasp and kind of get a handle on it. It was just really crazy. I mean, even to this day, it's still that same kind of roller coaster.
Yeah, I totally get it because when I got my diagnosis, we were at the mall and the doctor called and he was like, "You need to go to the hospital immediately." And so, just like you, Candace, and Mark, first thing I thought about was the wife and kids. Am I going to be there for them? And then, you start researching and you start I have
Jesus
no, because
Christ.
I really had no idea what MS was, right? So like, I'm thinking I'm gonna be crippled for the rest of my life. I won't be here for my family, and man, I'm in the mall just bawling with tears, trying to hide it, be manly and stuff. But I mean, I can only imagine how that must have rocked both of your worlds. You know, to not only get that news, but to now live with it, right? Like this is a part of who we are now. So yeah.
It's tough because you almost don't want to be known as that person. Like I'll post like a regular post and maybe get like, not that I'm doing it for likes, you get like 6 likes. I post like, hey, I'm going for treatment, 300 likes. I'm like, why are people so obsessed with like pain? And sometimes you don't want to be just known as like Candy with breast cancer. You know, you want to be known as like all the other things that you are, but it's really a part of our life now. Like literally last night, I think yesterday, he he told me, he's like, I think sometimes I take for granted what it means for you. Like I go to treatments and you come home, I work, and even for the kids, it could seem like, oh, she's fine. Like if people look at me like I'm fat, I'm overweight, there's like she don't get
You said overweight, girl. Bye.
white oncologists like to tell me, I was like, y'all need a BMI for black girls, okay?
Right.
Like that is
Right.
not
Right.
like I'm not
Right.
obese. Get away.
Mhm.
So like it's literally like I don't think a day goes by where I don't think of it.
Mhm.
Like it got so bad like at one point, and he even started to get upset. I was like looking for like wives. I'm like, okay, so if I'm gonna die, he can't be by himself. He can't cook. He could do laundry, but he can't cook. 4 kids, 2 of them are like toddlers. Like, okay, we're gonna have to find a wife. So I literally was like making a list of potential people. I even inboxed some people. Like the thing I'm joking, I'm like,
She's wild.
yeah, I'm
Like-
serious. Like,
Wait, pause. Candy, wait, pause. No, pause, wait. You're
Wait,
going too fast, wait.
Wait. So let me ask this question.
Wait.
I got a question.
Alright.
So Candy, you were looking for another wife, so you wanted Mark to have 2 wives, you and another woman?
That's what I was thinking.
I love that. She's like,
So I was making a list with her.
she's good, but nah, not her.
Until I found out like what she was really. I was like, come on, baby. Like
No, I was thinking more. No, honestly, like nobody knows. Even though like you hear, like they told me like I had 9 to 12. This is 2018 November. The oncologist told me you have 9 to 12, maybe 2 years if I'm lucky.
Oh wow.
So I'm thinking, okay, I need to get my. I'll try not to curse. I need to get my whole together.
Right.
I saw this book about now that I'm dead, what next? I had all my passwords. I'm like, okay, I need to get rid of these. Like you, not that you thinking about death. I'm realistic because I know, like, honestly, God does do miracles and He does heal, but sometimes God allows things. So I was preparing myself for like worst case scenario. If I die, what's gonna happen to Mark and the kids?
Mhm.
And it literally is always a thought at the back of my mind. But I'm like, I truly love him and I want him to be happy. And I know, like, I know he's gonna hurt if something happens to me. And I feel like maybe I need to stop playing God. Like somebody told me that literally, a therapist said, like, you need to let God be God, because I think I need to like control everything that's going on with me. So it's hard to let go that, okay, they could be all right after I'm gone. I'm like, no, there's no way. I gotta find your wife, somebody who could cook, somebody who's patient, because my kids are bad, the last 2, and like somebody to do the teams. So, like all that, it's there every day, like literally. I don't think a day passes you don't think. Some days are better than some, but sometimes I'm sure for you, it hit you like a ton of bricks.
Mhm.
And I tried to cry and stuff, but like I go in the car and like I would literally scream. Like if you put there, you would hear like the windows go, yeah. You're gonna be like, ah! Like that's
Oh my God.
and frustration at God, like why? Like why would you do this to me of all people? Like not I think I'm special, but like, I had a really rough past.
Mhm.
I'm marriage before that. So finally things are going good. I got my degree. I got my green card. I was undocumented in this country for so many years. So finally, I'm at the point where like life is looking up, and then bam, breast cancer. I'm like, God, like seriously?
Yeah.
Why you so
Yeah.
petty? Like I told, and like somebody said, oh, you shouldn't curse God. Like I don't know what I didn't tell him. Like
No, that's real.
yeah, I curse.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, Job really went through that moment too, where he was like, "Why me?" I went through it too, and I literally, while I was in the hospital, I literally in my brain was saying, God, I know a few other people you could give this to. Like I can see them right now. You could have given this to that person. It would have been all right. Like I'm doing everything I can for you. I'm preaching. I'm dealing with these Negroes. Why'd you give me this? Like
There's like so many other people that might not be missed.
right.
I mean,
That's right. That's right. It's almost like like they always said why did Biggie have to die and we still have Soldier Boy? Like we could work something out. Can we work something out? Can we get a deal? Make a deal like that? But that's real, right? Because and I think like a lot of Christians are afraid to acknowledge that or admit there are going to be moments in your walk with God where you have to question Him. Like you have to like say like what is really good, if I could put it in that language. And it happens to everybody. Some Christians want to act like, oh, I never question God. I just turn to prayer and let the Lord. Whatever. Right. You lying? No, you don't. You have to have these moments where you just don't understand, and how do you cope with it after that?
What'd you say?
No, I feel like that's the only way that you could kind of grow. Like if you don't ask questions, like kids ask us questions when they don't understand things. God said He's our Father. Like, it's better to ask, like, why am I going through these things? Like, I need some answers. So I definitely question. I definitely question.
It's not going to be like something that's real for you, if you just accepted everything.
Right.
To be. You have to question it, and then you have to kind of go through that path, however long it may be, that 40 years, whatever you want to call it. Like you have to go through that in order for it to really become your own. And I wouldn't say encouragement might be the word, but if somebody is at that point where they are questioning, then it's like you'd almost feel good about it because that at the end of that, wherever they're at, they end up in a place where they're probably better off.
Yeah. So what does Candace, you just mentioned that every day you think about it and you have your moments where some days are better than others. You go and cry in the car or scream or whatever. How has it affected you guys in terms of your marriage? Like, how has it impacted your marriage?
He went to therapy.
Yeah.
He's in therapy. I go to therapy sometimes. But I struggle with, first of all, I struggle with the whole notion. Like, even though I'm a practitioner, like, I tell people, like, hey, you should go to therapy. But the Western part of me is like, why go to therapy? Or the church part of me, like, but God is there. And I had to literally reconcile those things because it came to a point where, like, because I had cancer, he felt like he was walking on, like, eggshells. Like, he don't want to get me upset because if I get upset, then she already has so much. So, like, if things that we need to talk about, he would get quiet and wouldn't get aggressive. He would get, like, and he's the type that, like, go in the basement with his video games and NBA or whatever. And then I'm like...
Whatever.
Knicks. All right.
Sense that there's something there, but we just didn't know how to talk about things that we normally would talk about because we're scared, like, okay, if I'm stressed out, that makes it worse for me in cancer. So literally, he didn't want to like address things, but because he didn't address things, he would like withdraw into himself, and then I'll feel abandoned. Like, wait, doesn't he love me anymore? He's not coming to bed when I go not talking. So it definitely stressed us out. Like we had to go to like couples therapy, and then even in then, you didn't do couples therapy before you married, but it's almost like the fun stuff.
Right.
Real couples therapy is when you get married. Yeah, like I learned things about myself, about how I was raised, about how he was raised that we didn't even realize that was impacting us. And even with the diagnosis and our everyday relationship, it was tough. It definitely was tough. I thought about like you know what, to hell with this, I'm gonna go find me another man.
That's real.
Like, yeah, I'll do it over. You know, but it's you definitely question. I felt bad. I felt guilt for having cancer because I'm like, dag.
Wow.
First of all, I was made, like, people made comments when we got married, oh, he picked up this lady with 2 kids. So you have those type of like things in the back of your mind, like almost feel like he's doing you a favor. And then on top of that now, like he inherited 2 kids, and now I have
It's like
cancer.
more baggage that you're bringing to the relationship.
And I feel like, oh, he could have been out there like having fun with a wife and like doing. Now he gotta be like taking care of me. So I felt like we had instead for better or for worse, and sickness and health, like we had all the bad stuff early, and I felt like it was too soon, and I felt a lot of guilt. So I even like give him like, if you want a hall pass.
It's still good, I think, right? No.
We're gonna pause for a commercial break.
I told him like, look, if you want to be with, because I felt like my body has changed. Like I got my breast cut off, and for a woman, like I struggled with having surgery for a while, like things that you didn't really think of. Like you see people have breast cancer, oh, they cut off this, oh, what? At least you're alive. But when it was time to cut mine off, me and the surgical oncologist was going back and forth. I was like, can't you just take it out? Like, don't, because you didn't realize how much it would impact you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I cut them off, got like my reconstruction. I call them like, what is called scarecrows with the patch. I had like patch nipples. So like sex was like, okay, just do it from the back.
Right.
And then you sexy. And then like when he touched me, like I have no sensation. So he's like staying away from there. I'm like, oh, just touch it still. It's okay. But like we struggle with that. And so yeah, I felt guilt. I wanted to have another wife. I felt guilt for having all these things happen to me that was affecting him, and I felt like it wasn't fair. So
wow. Yo, Candace, that is like the realest thing. Like what you are sharing is like the realest thing ever, because I think a lot of times when we talk about like women that have that do have breast cancer, and they probably are in remission and whatnot, or it's like you never hear about that part, the part that you just expressed, about the identity. Your body is changing, your marriage, like, of course you can imagine the stress that a diagnosis like that can bring, into your marriage. But to hear you express it the way you just expressed it, and I'm sitting here as a woman, I'm just like, yo, like when you think about your body, right, and your breast, like the breast is a part of the sexual experience, right? Like it's not just,
and that's what makes
put the penis in. Well, let me stop, because I think my girls are. No, I think Keelan and Amber are watching it.
But
Keelan and Amber.
When you put the hold up.
Right, it's not just that. We know that marriage and we know that sex is not just that. It's a lot more to it than that. And I can't imagine that process, or I can't even now I'm like, wow.
I mean, as Candace was talking, the guilt part is real, right? Like, because I think I even felt that guilt too. And I don't know if I did, or I know in my mind, when I was in the hospital, I wanted to apologize to Carlene. Like, I'm sorry for getting this. I'm sorry for having this, because your life is going to change as well. Now, I tell you, the difference between me and you, Candace, was I wasn't thinking about no other husband. I was like, you're going to be by yourself. Ain't nobody going to be touching you. Ain't nobody going to be doing nothing. You're going to raise them kids without me. And you going to be all right. All right? You're going to play Kendrick Lamar.
I'll be all right.
That's right. You're going to sleep next to a picture of me, because ain't nobody touching you. Right?
Oh,
but the guilt is real, because you feel terrible, like you feel terrible for some, and it's not even something that you went and got yourself. It's just you having it, and just that, just knowing how your life can completely change from this moment on, and all those things that come with it. So I even had questions about my performance as well, like because that's a part of marriage, intimacy and having sex, and so I was like, man, wondering, is this going to stop me from being able to please my wife, because I always do, right? So making sure that
no.
That's right. So that's right. Hold it down, right? So, but that's but thank you for sharing that. Thank you for saying that was that's powerful.
I wanted to ask you, Carlene, because it was something that, like, for me, I think one of the hardest things when we talked about couples therapy and everything is like, me knowing that it's like her diagnosis and something that she's going through, I felt as though it was hard for me to kind of express what it meant for me, because like I feel like my emotions and everything that the way it's impacted me is kind of has to take like a back seat.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how can I tell you, oh man, this is hard for me to hard for me to deal with. Something that's simple like that, and it's real. Like it'd be hard for anybody to deal with, even as a spouse.
Right.
But it's kind of got to take a back seat. So like a lot of the things that I may be feeling, I'm kind of hesitant to see. Okay, well, I don't want to bring up the fact that she's dealing with something because it might not be on her mind right now, and she may be. So if I bring it up now, it's like I've kind of been in the mood then, and it was hard to kind of keep that level of intimacy, that level of kind of just sharing everything, because that's what we do, and it's just hard to do it because I feel as though it's not my place to kind of make her diagnosis about me, even though it's affecting me, like you said, Jenny. Like it's going to affect your spouse, it's going to affect the kids, but you still want to kind of be able to feel as though, like, hey, we can talk about it. We can talk about it from another vantage point as well, and it's.
Yes, I agree 1,000%. I felt exactly what you felt like. Any mention of it felt almost like I am giving more, putting more on his plate.
Right.
He's already experiencing so much, and I think for spouses that are on the other end of it, I felt like I had to deny me. Me deny myself. So right when he received his diagnosis, I was just like in tunnel vision. Like it's not about me, it's about the kids, it's about making sure that everything is good so he doesn't have to feel the stress of anything outside of what he's already feeling. And so it was hard. And even now, even talking to him about how I feel or how it affects me, I'm not as open with him about it, because again, I feel like it's not about me. It's about you trying to create a norm, right? Be normal with this diagnosis. So I do struggle with it still. Where there are times where he'll like talk about, where he'll say something, or I kind of see like him. There's like a certain movement he'll make, and I'm just like, is he okay? And of course, I'm not gonna ask him because I don't want to bring attention to it, right? So it's hard. It is definitely something that is hard and that I'm trying to work through, because it's just one of those things where the last thing I want to do is add anything more to your plate. And
yeah, and I'm on the other end. I'm like, don't treat me differently. Like, talk to me. I want to know what's going on with you. Like, if I'm having a bad day or something feels funny, I'm going to tell you. But I'm still trying to function. I still want to be who you first married. I still want to be that person. I don't want to be Jamie.ms. I want to be Jamie Kalasar, right?
That's
so
good. That's good.
and so I think that's the struggle that we deal with when living with sickness, that you just can't take a pill and get rid of.
Yeah. In fact, to find that balance, it's tough. Have you guys like done therapy?
No, we have not. I mean, I do my therapy, and we were trying to get him connected to a therapist. I think he had a session, but he never went back because of other issues. But I think it was insurance or something that.
I wasn't feeling him.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Finding out like it's extreme. Like for me, I'm very picky. If I call you and you just sound funny, I'm like, my spirit in.
Yeah.
Like I went to Wildwood. What is like September last month, and Wildwood is like a lifestyle place. They do the whole diet and everything. And then they told me like at 5 o'clock you have a counseling session, and I'm like, who put me on this counseling session? White counseling session. Ooh, white people put me in counseling session. And I was pissed. So when it's time to finish the session, I said, if I walk in there and they open Desired Ages, I'm a cuss and like nobody like not I'm against Desired Ages, but like
a lot of these pastor counselors, they're not really counselors. They're just like
it's church people that tell you about God. And listen, I know spirit of prophecy, like I know that. Like tell me how I could change my mindset, what steps and things to do at home. So it was when I walked in there and like she was actually a real therapist, and I was like, thank God, because I was about to tell you, I swear to God, I told her, if you had only opened Deserve Ages, man, you would have probably had I would have probably cussed you out. Like, no. So,
Yo.
his therapist is like really, really, really good. Like, sometimes I said, can I use her?
Yeah.
But she's good. And it's very hard to find like somebody that you really could connect with. And it's
it's like buying a car. You know, you got to test it out. You got to make sure if it works. And I agree. I think everybody needs a therapist where you can sit on their couch and cuss and say whatever you want to say
and not feel judged.
Mm-hmm. You know, and even still, if you don't want to have a therapist in your denomination, because I would hate to see my therapist at church. Like, oh,
listen to me. That's a hard no. No.
Definitely. Yeah, no Adventist, please. That's if you don't even they go to a pastor, like, no. Because then even if they don't talk, you just feel where to meet. You're like, yeah, brother, sister, Mark.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, hi.
Yeah. It's awkward. Very awkward.
I think one of the best things about therapy is like, well, we do it tele now, but like when I used to go to the office, it's like everything that the whole idea of this therapist existing is only within the confines of this space.
Yes.
And I know once I get there, I can say what I need to say. Whatever needs to happen happens, and then when I leave, it's like the person almost doesn't even exist until I get back.
Yes.
And like that and that privacy is like so key to staying open and being able to let therapy do what it does.
Yes. That's like one of the best feelings ever. What is it that they have that the privacy thing? What is the thing that they have as therapists? Like, what is it called? Like,
I don't know.
Jamie, help.
What'd you say?
I said, Jamie, help her.
I'm struggling.
I'm like,
But basically, you know, that privacy where, of course, nothing leaves that room, right? And I think they have even like, it's like their policy. What is it called?
Like HIPAA?
Non-disclosure agreement?
I don't know. Whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever that is.
You understand what I'm saying?
A lockbox?
A lockbox.
I don't know.
But anyway, that's like one of the best feelings, as you were just describing, Mark.
HIPAA?
HIPAA.
HIPAA.
It was,
She wasn't
HIPAA.
looking. She was. Is
It
this
wasn't
HIPAA?
what I was looking for. Confidentiality.
Confidentiality. She's looking for a street
That's what I was
word.
looking for.
Keep it on the low.
Right. What? What? But anyway, basically, that's something that I really love about therapy. Like, I don't have to think about seeing that person in the street per se, or knowing that maybe that confidentiality will be breached, but knowing that it's a safe space. That takes the cake for me, for sure.
Yeah, because, and I'll say this as a pastor, church is not a safe space. Like, let's just put that out there. It is not a safe space. Folk gossip, folk talk. And then you don't want to go to, you don't want to know the secretary of the therapist as you're walking in, because it's going to be like, oh, guess who came to therapy today? You know, something like that.
And they needed a double session. So,
he was up in there 2 hours.
Mercy, Jesus.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys, because, you know, we talked about the marriage part, but your kids, how has it impacted them? One, I know that 2 of them are younger, right? I think under the age of 4. One is 4, and I know it's Miles and Mason, correct?
Mason is 4. He just turned 4. Miles turned 3 in December.
Okay, so they're still young, but I'm sure that they sense, you know, kids, we don't give them enough credit for, you know, a lot. But with the older ones, like what did that look like for you guys?
Don't give a damn.
What'd you say?
2.
that's not care. That's not true. Well, I think a big, like,
The teenagers tend to be selfish. Okay, let's put it this way. This is how I feel. Move your arm so I can get the camera. I feel. Okay, so 2 things. They're teenagers, and teenagers are like all about them, which is one thing. That's normal. Mm-hmm. The other part, though, I don't like your typical cancer patient that people expect. So if I'm home, if I had like an IV pole with the gown and like in bed when I'm breathing tube, they probably would.
It would resonate a
resonate
little bit more.
But I stay home, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing. When I start to complain, like, oh my God, come wash it two little dishes. I have cancer, and I use it to my advantage. Oh, but I'm swelling up, everybody ever wash the dish. Then they come and like, Mom, you're not gonna die. So I honestly don't know, like personally deep, because my kids are like my daughter talks about everything with Mark. I'm the last to know. So if something bothers them, they'll, she'll tell Mark. My son, he would more notice like, hey, you okay? I was like, I'm kind of tired today. And he'll make tea because tea fixes,
That's right.
West Indian.
I can't honestly say that I truly deeply know because we don't talk about it because everything kind of seemed normal at home. If that makes sense. Like when I had surgery, then they'll come and like, Mommy, and they're like, you okay? But like for the most part, like if I'm cussing to get help, then I was like, I have cancer, nobody help me. Then they'll come and
if she's like more
tired, so dramatic, but whatever.
Yeah, if she's like more tired than normal, like after like treatment or something, then like it probably, like okay, Candace has been lying down on the couch, for the whole day. So, it's kind of there in the front of your mind.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Candace's point, I don't think that we've kind of enough to really broach the subject with them. I mean, we've talked about it, like, whenever there was anything major happening, like, surgery.
When I start when I was going to
losing the hair. Like major, we kind of do. But I mean,
we had conversations.
The idea of like checking in from time to time to be like, hey, how do you guys feel? Whatever. Because as much as we take for granted with the younger kids, I think to a degree we even do it with the older kids. Like, we kind of take for granted that they're okay because they don't mention it. And they got tons of other stuff that they're dealing with. They're teenagers. Like, that by itself is its own huge thing to deal with. So on top of it, like, it may be something that's not in the forefront of their mind as much, but there aren't times where it's like they're thinking about the future and getting married. It's like, hey, I wonder if mom's going to live. I'm sure that that's something that has come into their mind, and we probably got to do a little bit better with kind of checking in with them as opposed to being responsive.
Now, would you guys have you considered therapy for them?
My daughter does therapy. Mm-hmm. My son.
We don't like. For me, I don't want to force it upon them.
Yeah, we talk to them about it and we let it be their decision. Right. If I drag them to it, their voice.
Yeah.
They have no problem telling me out. Just like I speak, like how I feel, they would tell me like, I'm not going to no therapy, I'm fine. Like they'll tell you.
Yeah, so, I try to share like how it's been useful for us to kind of like it be a little bit of a bridge.
We don't hide that we go to therapy. Like most West Indian home, like first of all, we don't talk about therapy, but like if something happens, where's Mark? Oh, so Mark went to therapy. He's like, and then we tell them that we go to therapy, and it's like, what's wrong? Like something doesn't have to be wrong, so we kind of make try
to normalize it.
Normalize that. Like you go to therapy, it's like preventative medicine. You don't go in so only something is wrong. You go to prevent something from going. So, but for the most part, they know, and they're very good at like telling us how they feel. So
yeah.
Okay, good. Now, how has this experience birthed other things from both of you? Has this experience only been, just a diagnosis, but has it birthed other opportunities that you probably would not have explored, prior to the diagnosis?
I'm gonna jump in because she's gonna take what I'm gonna say and go off.
Yeah.
But like, I think one of the biggest things that we've been able to do is kind of really. They kind of say it a lot, but you don't take life for granted. You don't take each other for granted. You don't take your time for granted. And like, it's something that's so easy to say, but when you're there, when you're feeling it, like, we don't know what it's going to be like. Like when her oncologist said, hey, 9 months to a year, you don't know what's going to happen. It's like, yo, if that's the reality, how do you want to live these next 9 months to a year? Like, and then all the things that are really important to you that you're going to do. So like to that point, Candace and her entrepreneurial spirit, like she kind of like whatever she wanted to do, we kind of just like went full bore onto it. Like, all right, cool. Like, this is what you want to do. Can we do it? Can we find a way to do it? Let's do it. So, as far as us being more dialed into each other, that's been like a huge thing. You know, like the things that are so petty that don't matter as much. Like, all right, why we gonna spend time there? You know, let's focus on
certain things like cleaning the bathroom.
Yeah, that don't matter. Like, yeah.
That's real.
I don't dry all the way
like
when I come out
Noah's
the
Ark,
shower,
like
so
a
it's like
flood.
mad wet on the floor.
And he uses my towel.
She doesn't
I
like
hate
that.
when he uses my towel. Like, you have your own towel. You just grab whatever.
She act like we don't have sex. I'm
Right.
using that towel.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same, Mark. Mark, it's not the same. It's not the same. That's nasty. I'm sorry.
That's right. No, Mark, you can use the same towel. I'm gonna give you horns for that.
No. No, that's nasty, Mark. Actually, when Jamie, I remember Jamie doesn't mind using my towel, but I can never ever imagine myself. Like, even if like by accident it just happened to graze my skin, I'm like, garbage. Put it in the hamper. I don't want it.
So let's say there's only 2 toothbrushes in the house, and by accident his fell into like the garbage or the toilet. Like, by accident, you're not going to use that anymore. So what is he going to do? Use his finger or use your toothbrush?
I will use a paper. I will get a paper towel. I will wrap it around my finger and brush my teeth that way.
Mark,
I will not.
As you can see, our marriage has issues. We have some unresolved issues that we need to take care of, and this is our therapy right now because y'all calling her out. Like, how you gonna use a finger?
I will use a piece of paper towel or something. Wrap it in something. I just go to the store. Oh, no. I'll get a rag. I'll get what is it?
Old school.
Now, Mark, Carlene is West Indian. She's talking about using a rag and some baking soda.
I mean, you know.
Candace like, exactly.
Where's the lie? But yeah, as you were saying.
I'm glad he's not scornful, because honestly, like, when I had surgery, I could not lift my arms. I couldn't shower.
Oh, wow.
And if I went to the bathroom, I couldn't wipe my own hands.
Yeah.
So like, he had to wipe. So he's not squirmish, which is good. But in other things like the towel and he use my toothbrush.
You got to pay for it. Like if like the same me that's wiping your booty is the same me that's using your towel. Do you want both or you want none?
What you gonna do, Candy? What are you gonna do, Candace?
It's different. Just compartmentalize. Wipe the booty, but still use your own towel.
The two are one.
Like, to your question, like, you know, we've kind of been able to like check in with each other a lot more. I feel as though I love our relationship. You know, we appreciate our time and each other's presence a whole lot more. We kind of pour into each other more, and then like also the things that we want to do for ourselves, like, you know, with Candace and her business, like what she wants to do would be totally well. Like we've really been able to like really pour into it as much as we can, because I mean, it's not like let's do this because you might die, but like let's live our life the way we want to live it. And I think it's a good way for, like, that's the one blessing I think that kind of came from all this. Like, live the way you want to live. Like, don't live it assuming that you're gonna be doing this for 40 years and you're gonna retire and blah blah, because you never know. Like, as much as she has a diagnosis, I can get into a car accident tomorrow. Like, so just do all the things that you really want to do for yourself. Like, why wait?
Part of my reason, though, like, to be honest, have been, like, when I was diagnosed, I was 1 year into, like, my master's program. And, like, take some time off. And I'm like, hell no, if I'm going to die, I'm going to graduate.
Right.
So, like, I'm still trying to find a balance. Like, I'm very, once I make up my mind to do something, like, I'm doing it. Like, there is no, I don't think no. So part of me feel like, and I've struggled with this, like, I'm catching up. Like I told you before, I was undocumented for so long. So when I finally got my, like, green card, I'm like, okay, if you're gonna date me, like I told him, like, date me, but just know you date me. But I'm doing all of this because
yeah. I'm gonna plug in the charger real quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's pretty deep, because you just straight said that while you were after your diagnosis that you um, essentially was going to do your master's degree, which is like, who does that, right? Usually, I mean, the average person probably would be like, yo, I'm going to just sit here and I'm just going to, just let fate happen. But you just said, nah, I'm going to accomplish what I want to accomplish, which is a degree in what again?
No, I'm a nurse practitioner. So I became a nurse practitioner.
Oh,
Like,
wow. Girl.
I, I, two things. I said I'm gonna graduate, even if I have to like cross the stage with the Ivy Pool, I'm gonna do it. Number two, I just wanted my kids, especially the older ones, to know like don't let anything stand in the way of your dreams. And if I had to die, I wanted to leave something. It's like it's important to leave like a legacy. You want your kids to feel proud of you, different things like that. So
wow, that's so encouraging,
Yeah.
Candace. So encouraging knowing that the
And look,
strength.
I'm still here and like I would have been like, oh, I should have, would have, could have, I should have. So I just did it. I was like, if I die before it happens, I die, but at least I died trying. So that's my mentality with everything. So I'm the whole hard, don't think, oh, this is thing, and Mark is the voice of reason. Well, let's think about this. He's the logical one. I'm the one that would like, I play scratch off, like when we win, he's like, when you win, like I already made plans for the money.
Well, I feel like we need to take a pause right here and just give you a round of applause. Seriously, because real talk. No, you do need it. You do. And I think you should embrace that and accept the fact that you did something very hard.
Right.
With a diagnosis, right? And I'm just so glad that you are defying odds. You're defying statistics, right? Through, of course, with the strength and the help of God. But I think you're doing amazing things. And you're so inspiring. Every now and again, I'll jump into your DMs and just really let you know how dope you are, how much I admire you, your strength, all about you, everything about you. I'm just like, yo, this girl is dope. And I'm just so glad that I can see, like, you straight give me encouragement. Like, I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? Not to compare, but just to say, okay, nothing should prevent me from fulfilling those dreams that I have for my life. So thank you for that, yo.
Horns.
Just needed to take a pause in our regularly scheduled program to just give you a shout out.
Yeah, I know. Every time you hear them horns, you probably want to start whining and start dancing. You think the party's about to start. You want to flash up your lighter and stuff, but not here. Those are the.
What you say? Wait, what you say? We can't hear you. What'd you say?
No, I said it was important for me to finish too, and like I when I was diagnosed, I put it out there. Mm-hmm. And it's not only when I put it out there, then women start inboxing like I had breast cancer, and everybody's walk and stuff will be different. But I'm the type of person like if I could help somebody else, and I believe that when you go through things, it's not just for yourself. Mm-hmm. And I've learned like if God chose me to carry this burden, and even for Jamie or even for you as a caregiver, then you kind of feel privileged in a sense, like oh, God think I can handle this assignment. Yeah. So you feel like happy to do what He wants, and like my whole my relationship with God has changed. Mm-hmm. And I struggled. I'm 39, and it was not until maybe like 2 months ago that I really realized that God loved me. I struggled with everything that I've been taught in church and how we are raised in church to be like I felt like if I told a lie or messed up or did something wrong, like God wasn't gonna heal me. Ask Him, I would get like so depressed and start crying like, oh my God, He's not gonna heal me because I'm not good. Mm-hmm. And I had to that God doesn't do anything for us because of who we are, because we'll never be evil. Yeah. But He does who He is, and I've literally had to like unlearn a lot of what I've learned as a Christian and as a woman, and like kind of like almost rekindling and finding your love for God again. And it's way, way different than anything that I've ever imagined. Like I never really thought that God. I looked at Jesus as the one that loves me because Jesus died, but God was just up there like, oh, I'm gonna fix you. And that's how I felt. Even with the diagnosis, I felt like I was being punished for like things that I've done in the past and whatever. So it took a while. So when I put myself out there with a diagnosis, and even my spiritual walk, I'll post things that, I'm really struggling with, like believing that God even exists right now. Like, because I know I'm not the only one. And a lot of times people don't talk of it because they fear of being judged. When you face death, like Jamie, you really don't, you stop caring.
Right.
Like, I don't care. This is how I feel, and guess what? This is what it is. And it kind of makes you real. It forces you to be real in a sense. And I think people appreciate that. And it inspire people to be real too, not only in their own personal lives and whatever, but to be real with God. And it's liberating in a sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like we've been given like a false version of Christianity and a false version of serving God, that we have to be perfect. And because we're not perfect, that means we're not enough. And so God is like looking down on us and he's like, oh, you messed up. I'm not going to give you this. And the real version of a Christian is somebody who's human, because that's what we are, right? So it's like, we always we talk about David all the time. And one thing we never talk about is David messed up a lot, right? David even said some crazy prayers like smash my enemy's baby's teeth on rocks, and like David, like you don't preach them psalms, right? we don't talk about that. We'll keep on reading, right? Right, but David, God said he's a man after my own heart because he kept it real, and I think that's what we want. I know that's what you want. I just want people to keep it real and stop trying to be perfect, or stop trying to. Nobody's perfect, and you can't accomplish it, right? And just be yourself, because that's who God made you to be. So, and we're better. And what you said also too with like your diagnosis, my diagnosis, which is also Carlene's, and which is also Marc's on, because we're sharing it. We're better people when we help each other. Like that's what makes us human. When we're helping each other and opening doors for each other, that's what makes us a Christian. That's what makes us people who God created us to be. And Jesus was always emphasizing to his disciples, like, yo, open doors for other people, inspire people. And you guys are an inspiration. It's like, hands down.
It is.
I'm not worthy. Yeah. Candace, but so I'm a pivot. I don't know if it's okay.
It's not okay, but you can go ahead.
I'm gonna pivot real quick. Candace, yo, you got my wife smelling like,
as a matter of fact,
a bouquet of flowers every day. I mean, she be coming in the bed. I be like, yo,
you smell mad good.
You smell mad good.
I be lathering that thing, but I need to do another order, because that with the oil, that joint is like 0. So I'm like, it's like nothing coming out, and I was like, the bottle, I'm literally.
Yo,
what'd you say?
I said, don't dilute it. You can't cut it. It's gonna hurt.
That's what you can't dilute at all. Like,
hey, let me tell you something. Marc is a West Indian, right? You know why? Because you know about diluting stuff. We're the only people, when the dishwasher liquid is finished, put some water.
Stretch that joint.
So, but yo, tell the people about your business, about what you're doing, and how can they get some of that product?
Okay, so initially this didn't start out as probably like a business. I was in the hospital bed, and I guess when you're diagnosed with cancer and you start learning a lot about like food and stuff that you put in your skin, stuff that you use in your household that are like not really good for your health. And I just wanted to start making wellness products for people, especially women of color, that are safe. Mm-hmm. And so like I started making like the soaps and the body butters and the oils, and I'm making teas, and I'm doing stuff for men's health, for testosterone, for like, strong meat.
Okay, I'll take some of that.
No, because like even in the church, we don't talk about like sex and marriage and how things that you could do naturally to enhance sex. Mm-hmm. We kind of like shun, and people suffer in silence. Like I made a post yesterday about like men's health with testosterone levels with men when they're young. As you age, it drops. Mm-hmm. But there's herbs and things that you could do. But anyway, so Be Totally Well is like total wellness, like for your skin, for your mind, for your body. So the products are on my website. It's called BeTotallyWell.com. You could go there and check it out. And soon I'm going to be launching telehealth to give people access to care from the comfort of their own home. And along with that, they get personalized plan, nutrition plan based on whatever their needs are. It's going to be very, very dope. I put a lot of hard work into it, and I hope that people will be blessed by it, and people would, book me for their services because I'm good at what I do. I really am. I don't brag, but like I know when I'm good at.
Brag,
girl.
And also one of the reasons why I do what I do. You on both sides. I'm on both sides of like I'm a practitioner and I'm also a patient. And I've been as a black. I went to This is my third oncologist, and she's Russian. And when I went to her, like one day, Mark and I with the nurses, everybody, and we had to give them a whole lesson on cultural competence. I'm like, I'm not your guinea pig. And you don't want to have to tell somebody, oh, you're a nurse practitioner. Oh, okay. No, they want to do things right. Do things right because I'm a patient.
Correct.
But black people don't have care. Oh, also, my app is almost done. So I have a directory there for like providers of color from different states. People literally go in and search by like their state and find out OBGYN or whatever. I think it's important, and I really want to use the time that God has given me on this earth, whether it's 1 year or like 10 years, to really help people make an impact. So be totally well. I'm on Instagram. I'm not on Twitter. I don't know how to use that. I'm on Facebook. So
got a website.
And the website is there. And I post a lot of health stuff. And I hope people appreciate it.
So we're gonna make sure that the public knows it. We're gonna send it because I'm all for supporting black business. I'm all for especially black women. I think black women you all will be the ones that will lead, that need to be leading, right? Like, because you all understand oppression, segregation, and men have just been messing it up for so long, and we need to put black women in the front. So I'm gonna make sure that we continue to purchase product. I'm gonna get some of that men product, and I'm gonna tell you how it goes.
I missed that part.
Yeah.
So the stuff that she using, that she makes now, like, I be trying to get her like, yo, babe, come get some of that body.
They froze.
Oh, they froze.
Oh no.
They'll probably come back in a second.
Yeah, I hope so. But that's pretty dope that she has all those products. And so someone just asked, what's the website? I know it's Be Totally Well. I don't know.
Be Totally Well.
I don't know the
Yeah, so you can follow her on. But look, hey, you're on Facebook. Tag her, send her a message, and she'll send you all of the products and everything that you need so that you can help support her and her business. And so that's what we're trying to do. We not only want to highlight black couples, but we want to highlight black business and people that are doing stuff. And so let's remember to throw all the support. Like, why go to Sephora when you have Candace and Marc? You know what I'm saying?
So, well, Sephora is like a whole bunch of things. I think, oh no, they lost power.
Oh.
Okay, but I think like instead of Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body Jerks.
Okay. Instead of Bath and Body Works, you always like on some next level. I don't know what's up with you. But instead of using them, definitely support the small businesses. I'm going to be honest. I went ahead and, because I wanted to show support for Candace and her business. And I just went ahead and ordered some butters and oils. And, when I say I am down to like droplets, it's literally like I have nothing left. And so I definitely am looking forward to ordering some more products. She has like one of my friends ordered one of the gift packages for her sister, and she absolutely loved it. I mean, what's dope about Candace is that she doesn't just throw things inside of a box and just say, boom. Nah, homegirl packages, spends her time and packages the items. Like, it's like amazing. Like, it makes you want to use her products. It makes you want to keep ordering more and more. So if you are listening to us, please go ahead and support Candace. I see a few people put the the website in the comments. I think it's betotallywell.com. I see. What's up, Gianna? I believe you said you got the grapefruit. Which one did I get? I'm about to get it. Hold on. It's that good.
Yo, support Be Totally Well. Get the product now so you don't smell terrible. You want to turn up the bass and the treble to another level. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, all right, I hear you. But I ordered as you can see, my jar is done. And what's super dope is that if this is how you know I'm West Indian. Am I talking in this camera or that one?
I'm talking in this camera right here.
This is how you know I'm super West Indian. I'm like, yo, this jar is quality. Like, this is not your average cheap jar. Like, I'm like, what else can I put in this jar? But I have the lavender orchid rose. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Horns.
Horns.
Look, you see what I'm saying? I need to stop wasting it. But it's that good.
Oh, baby, we're going to have to stop the show. You got that product on. You know what it do to me. It make my head go.
Okay.
You must be Jamaican because Jamaican the crazy right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
all right.
how it
As
is.
you can see what it does to Jamie. But what's super cool about what we wanted to accomplish, we know that this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we just wanted to come and highlight. I wish they could get back on. Could we get them back on?
I'm gonna try to get
But
them back
what I really wanted from what we really wanted to show you was marriage ain't no joke. It is no joke. And of course, when you are just getting married, you're over here thinking to yourself, oh, life is going to be great. You know, you look at how other people have experienced marriage, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like it's going to be perfect like theirs. Not realizing that those marriages that you are looking at are probably struggling as well, and they just decided to keep it quiet. But one of the reasons why we wanted to bring Marc and Candy on, for the purpose of showing that marriage is going to have its bumps, is going to have its moments where you're just like, oh my gosh, what in the world is happening? But once you have that love, and of course you have God in the center of your marriage, and just that you can just about overcome anything. And so it's not for the faint at heart whatsoever. And I know that both Candy and Marc will definitely let you know that as well. We'll agree with that. But that's what we wanted to do. And I know Candace, you guys are back. Whoop, whoop.
Yep.
I was like, yo, what happened?
They were like this. But so the people have
remember
been
that
asking,
challenge? Remember that challenge from a couple of years ago? Everybody had to stand still. What was it called?
All right, the thing challenge.
The mannequin challenge.
Mannequin challenge. Yes.
That's all we was doing.
Yeah, that's what y'all was doing. True. Horns, kill the horns. Yeah. So guys, we're at like the closing of our show, but please, the folk, when you were sharing the story, Marc, about the product, so please.
And I brought my empty bottles. I brought my empty. Joints are empty.
Empty. I was just saying, like, even the products that she has out now, like, man can use it too. Like, I like the lavender joint. Smells really, really, really good.
Yes, man can use it too.
That's why you ran out?
She don't know. I be using it on the low.
Joint is empty.
Well, I be trying to give her hints. Like, I give her the body oil. Like, babe, I just got out the shower. Here, come take this body oil.
Body oil turned into like.
Let's get to work.
I'm like, he's like, you want a massage? I'm like, no thanks.
Massage.
Because you know what a massage. You get 2 rubs and then just feel something like between it. No, thank you.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, great products. She's a great person. I'm just happy to be like a part. Like when your spouse is an entrepreneur, you're an entrepreneur, and like I'm just I'm just happy to be a part and like just
he's very
forward with her with everything. Yeah.
That's a good bra.
Now I have a question for you. Do you think that you'll be coming out with sizes that are a little bit bigger than this, or are you going to keep it small?
Yeah. People have been asking, so yeah, there's 3 new scents that's coming up soon, and they're in like bigger containers. So
Praise
yeah.
God, because listen, if I lived in New York, I'll probably be at your house every month, right? You need to have like a subscription where people can subscribe, and that joint comes every month. Because
we were talking about that
for
too.
me, for me, real talk, when the product is,
we're gonna work.
Yeah, when it's quality product, you don't want to go anywhere else. Like I'm looking at what's the thing that we use, the cocoa butter from Palmer's. I'm just like Palmer's, Candace stuff. I'm like, there is no comparison. So I would love to subscribe, do like a monthly subscription where I can see it arrive at my door every month at the same time, so I don't have to think about ordering it. But that's just something for the future. But I'm definitely.
We appreciate that kind of feedback too. That's what helps make it what it is. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for this. So as he said that we're pretty much at the end. It went so fast.
Yeah. We got to check in with y'all more. It was so crazy. Like when y'all were in New York, we never got the chance to like really like, you know, when you're in the church in New York, we never got to really come by.
The first time we came was his last Sabbath there. Could you believe that?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we miss you guys, man. You guys are really dope people, really dope kingdom people.
Thanks, Mark. The stories that I remember about Mark, one story in particular, because of course, you know, Brooklyn, you always see Mark playing his guitar. His bass guitar. It's a bass guitar. Right?
Bass.
It's a bass guitar. No, it's not a bass guitar?
You're right, bass guitar.
But we don't call it that in the hood. We call it the bass.
Okay, whatever. So I remember, of course, seeing him playing whatever with OGK, whatnot. So I remember when Jamie and I first got married, is when I think we were just maybe about 2 months into our marriage. And Junior extended the invitation for us to join you guys on that trip to Jamaica.
Oh,
and yo, let me tell you something. Let me tell you the experience. My life has forever been changed from that trip, first of all. But I remember we were on the bus, and I think we were going to the church. We were going somewhere. I don't know if we just came from the airport, whatnot. And I remember you were telling a story, right? You were telling a story. You were sitting in the front of the bus. We were sitting in the back of the bus. And you were telling some story. And then, of course, all eyes were on Mark. So Mark, while he's in the middle of the story, says, I don't think you called me Carlene. I think you said, like, why is the pastor's wife staring in my mouth? Like, why is she so intensely looking at me? And telling you, I'm like, what else am I supposed to be doing? Like, you're telling a story. And I was just like, oh my God. But that trip has been like, forever etched in my mind.
I forgot you were on that trip. So Mark, man, tell me if you remember this about the trip. Like, I try to tell people about this, but people don't believe me, right? Do you remember the guy that was taking us around? Do you remember his cell phone? You remember he had like a cell phone with a number pad on it, and it had like a receiver.
I don't, but I'm happy that I don't, because that's hilarious. Like, no, I don't remember that.
Oh,
do you remember the guy though? I think he was like our security guard.
I remember that.
He had it was like an actual phone that you're supposed to plug into the wall, but he was walking around with that joint.
Every day, I'd be like, Carlene, why is this man walking around with a house phone, right? And I think it was like the last day of the trip, I realized that was his cell phone. It had a straight, Candace, it had a straight number pad and a receiver with a plug-in.
That's
only
in the islands.
Only in the islands.
There were so many good memories from that trip, but it's been so awesome kicking it with you guys for this hour and whatnot. I want you guys to know how inspirational you are. You both are. And it's so interesting sometimes as... Why are you laughing?
Nah, because somebody asked a house phone.
Oh, I'm like, what are you laughing for? But, like sometimes we operate in these silos or on islands and not... Because sometimes we operate in silence. We don't know how much we have in common than we don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's some experiences that we can say, yo, I've experienced that too, or you know. And I think in this space, in this platform, I just want to encourage other people, like get to know people. You find strength, you find inspiration in other people's stories, to help you in your own personal life. But if there's anything, Marc, I'll let you both have a turn. Anything, Marc and Candy, that you guys want to share with anyone, in terms of, because I know this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right? And it's so crazy. Like when you said you were available, I didn't put two and two together, and I was like, "Yo, it's Breast Cancer Month!" Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So, so if you both, take some time to kind of just share whatever it is that you want to share, encourage whoever you want to encourage. I'm just gonna give you guys that moment to do that.
One thing I want to say is, it's so crazy. So from when I got married to where I am now, we got married. I think the biggest change or shift, as far as me and how I look at marriage is, I've always looked at a relationship or marriage as building upon the sameness. Like how we're both the same. We both at Venice, grew up at Venice. We both, we both love music and blah blah blah. And all that stuff is good. But I've been really seeing the value in kind of leaning in and speaking to each other's differences. Like there are so many ways that we're different, and instead of trying to force each other or convince each other to kind of be the same, realize where the differences are and kind of lean into them and speak into it. Like, yeah, this is who you are because of where you've come from, and this is who I am. And we may have different temperaments and different outlooks on a situation, but it's what makes us special. It's what makes us work. And instead of trying to convince her to be more like me or me to be more like her, like, nah, just appreciate that we are two individuals, and it's our individuality that makes our relationship special, and that's what makes it work. And I think that's a little nugget I'll share with anybody in case that
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yes.
I just want to encourage everybody to, I guess I'm going to talk from a health perspective. Sometimes when we're young, we take for granted our health. We eat bad. We don't sleep. We don't take care of our health until like trouble hits. And then I encourage everybody to, even if it's once a year, go get your checkup. For women. I was 36 when I was diagnosed, and the age to start screening is 40. So you just never know. So it's important. And the big part of my reason why I think I was diagnosed, I'm a mental stressor. Like it'll be 3 o'clock in the morning and I would not sleep because I have a lot on my mind. And something even simple, and I've had to learn like how to try to like turn things off, but I can't change. Like Marc told me, like I really want to open my own practice. That's like my goal, my dream, one day to have my own practice. And in joking, he kind of said like, well, we could convert the garage. And literally I was up all night on Pinterest looking up how to convert garage into med. And every 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll wake up like, hey, Marc, what do you think of this color? And he'd be like, are you crazy? Yeah. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. So, but it speaks, not only is it good because I'm very like, tunnel, when I want to do something, I do it, but also.
You learn about it.
You're talking to the people.
But I want people to like take time for yourself and take time for each other. I don't have to always feel like I have to do everything. Like if the house don't get clean today, it's okay. Yeah. If there's no grocery, then go take out. If you can't go for a weekend, spend a night in a hotel. We've had to learn how to really take time for ourselves and just don't live for our kids, because them suckers would make you work to death and you will die and they will bury you and they will move. They'll grieve but they'll move on. So we really have to take care of ourselves, and I just encourage to do that. To really take care of yourself and each other.
Yeah.
That's horns.
That's horns. That's horns. And applause. Give him applause.
Thank you.
That both of what you said, what you had to say was spot on in so many ways, and that can be a whole nother conversation. What you both mentioned, because on one side, what Marc mentioned, like that is, I'm like, you guys have my brain, because I'm like you, Candace. I'm like, my brain is always on. It's very hard to turn it off.
Yeah.
And that, while you were
He's
talking, I was gonna ask Mark, are you the same? Does your mind go the way
No,
that right?
no.
That's him.
Like,
Mark
I can go to sleep in like 5 seconds
That's
flat, like
him.
no problem. She's thinking about
I
a
have
whole
to,
bunch of
I have,
stuff
I have to
that
play rain sounds.
no.
I have to try to calm down
Girl.
because
No.
I was thinking, okay, even if it's something mundane, like I have laundry tomorrow after the grocery shop, I'll make a grocery list in my head at 12 o'clock at night. Like, why? But
I feel bad for you, son.
but it's a good, like, it's good. But
No,
the reason why we work
That feels far for you, son.
For real, I do.
well because we're different in that aspect. And he's the one to be like, hey, but did you think of this? I said, oh yeah, I didn't think of that because I'll be ready to like break down the garage and convert into medical practice without getting a building permit. He's like, do you think you have to get
Yeah.
So that's where like we work because
The differences, yeah.
the difference is like
Yeah.
if it's not for me, he would probably not try anything.
Yeah.
In terms of like how I am with I'm not afraid to put myself out there and like do something. If it fails, it fails. But he's more like laid
More
back,
measured,
more measured and
yeah.
calculated. I'll be like, so what if they don't like my body butter? Screw it. Somebody will buy it, and by the time it's just bad, then I already got their money anyway. But so I that's how I am, like but yeah.
Oh, man, we love it, man.
I'm glad people like it. That's a good thing.
What'd
But if
you
they
say?
didn't, I really didn't. I say I'm glad people like the products, but if they didn't, I probably wouldn't
Yeah, it's like, all
care
right,
as much.
we got
Yeah,
your bread.
whatever. On to the next one.
See, I'm
Yeah.
different. For me, I would sit there and be like, why didn't I like it? Do I have
Yeah.
to change? Can I have a whole bunch of feedback
No.
so they can change it?
Yeah,
There's some of that, too.
There's some of that too. There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
But I'm like Candace though. Whatever. You don't like it. You
Yeah.
don't like it. That's your problem, not mine. You deal with it.
Right.
Someone just asked, do you ship to Bermuda?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we will. We'll
Yes.
figure it out.
That's right.
Yep.
She
Yes, we will.
ships to everywhere. To
Yes,
Kuwait.
everywhere.
Okay.
If they could get there, she'll ship it there. So I'm answering
Exactly.
for. That's right. Once you can put it in a box,
Right.
you're gonna get it.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
I'll put him.
That's all it is. We got you.
Yep.
that's awesome.
Matter of fact, that's Katiuska.
Oh, what's good?
Yeah. Yeah.
We would say you see the guy. Relax.
Oh my God.
She's like, who is that?
With
But
the
yeah,
EP
this has
together.
been great. So usually at the ending of the show, Jamie goes ahead and does freestyle. Do any of you freestyle?
Oh my God.
Like rap.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I'll go soca.
Yeah, that's what I said. Candace, she gonna scat. Put it on my soca music.
Soca music is not
No.
scatting.
Yeah, it's Jamaican scat. Nobody
Nah.
freestyles, nobody raps.
Let me see
All
that.
Mm-mm.
What'd you say? You rap,
No.
Mark?
No. I do nothing of the sort.
All right,
I ain't gonna try.
I'm not gonna rap today.
Why not?
Nah, I don't feel like
You
it.
feeling
You
the
gotta give
pressure?
people what they want, bro.
Give the people what they want.
All right.
Why you acting all shy?
Since you're gonna twist my arm, I'm going to freestyle. So I'm gonna give my esteemed guest the privilege. What would you like me to freestyle about?
Husbands giving their wives
Careful.
breast exams. Breast exams. Relax.
No.
Oh, okay.
Careful.
All right.
I'm about to, I was like, Jesus,
No.
let him keep it.
Just don't let a freestyle about even like.
He got it. Like, he's ready. Look at him.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm about to start the show.
Start the show. We
Yeah.
already had the show.
This
It's
is-
like we're an hour into
This
the
is
show.
part 2 of the show. They're gonna freestyle. All right. The people that have been asking for Jamie, give them a round of applause. Here we go. Hit them with the horns. Man, I'm feeling the heat. What can I say? It's like I'm trapped in the can. Chilling here with my number one girl, and I'm her man. We talking about living life and being healthy. Gotta give your wife them breast exams, because we want to know about them lumps and the bumps. Because you don't ever want to end up inside of a dump. Check what I'm saying. I'm getting over that hump. I love Mark and Nick because they be doing it. Candace, go way back. like babies and pacifiers. Yo, I ain't no liar. We gonna take this higher. My boy Mark, always from the start, always got the bass, knows how to give a spark. Don't ever stink it up like somebody bust a fart. But we already know how to get to the heart. Yo, I did this from the start, and I'm never gonna stop. But you gotta take care of your mental health as well as your physical, so you can get physical, if you know what I mean. This is spiritual, uplifting. We never drifting. All right, your boy Jamie out. You like that?
He got one book for me. One book. But
Yo, I was flowing off the breath about breast exams. You know how hard that is?
But that was just that was just like 2 words though. Like,
no, I talked about lumps and bumps and not ending up in a
lumps,
dump.
bumps.
No.
That was like 5 words.
Yo,
okay.
Carly, you hating right now. Like,
Mad hate, yo.
Come on.
I mean,
mad hate. Yo, the people love it. Yo, Arlene's
like,
asking for horns.
I feel as though that was okay. That was okay. It wasn't your best one, but it's okay.
Oh man,
it's okay.
So I threw him a curveball, and instead of it being a home run, like it was a double. Like that's okay. We could have used that. The Yankees could have used that last night. I wasn't watching the game, but I'm just saying, like we could have used that last night. So like, it's okay. Sometimes
that's right.
It's not a
that's
home
right.
run.
That's
Sometimes
right.
It's a smooth double.
That's right. Thank you, Mark.
You know I got you.
Okay. Whatever. Sure. If that's we can go with that one for sure.
Haters always gonna hate. That's just
I'm not hating, but yo, guys, this has been amazing, and I just love and appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah.
And
thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Yeah, man, this is really, really empowering and inspirational. But we'll keep you guys in prayer.
And have them back on.
And have you guys back on if you guys would want to come back.
Y'all want to deal with us some more.
I'll pre-write my freestyle, so I can hop on there with you. Yeah, it's not a freestyle, but okay.
Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah. That'll be dope. That'll be dope. I'll come with mine too.
No, that would be nope. This is.
Hey, look, he's in the groove right now.
I'm in a groove. I'm in the mode right now. So sometimes some rappers are better solo than with a team. So you know what I'm saying. So I'm that kind of rapper right now.
You're gonna have to deal with that on your own, bro.
See, that's why I wanted to end the show, because I always put my foot in my mouth the longer it goes. So we need to sign out before I get in more trouble. But this is Mark and Candace, Jamie and Carlene signing out. Deuces.
Bye, guys.